Hello.
Hello. I've not been looking forward to this game, but I've been very much looking forward to it at the same time.
I've been looking forward to this a lot. I've seen 15 seconds of gameplay from this game. I think I know very little about. I know this is a video game adaptation of Jojo's Adventure Part 1, The Phantom Blood.
The Phantom Blood.
Okay, we should probably address familiarity with the series.
We should, because we've got one other anime commentary on Evangelion by Sweet and TDF where they got everything wrong, and we aim to do much the same.
So, yeah, Snake, you're way more familiar with Jojo than I am. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I don't recognize this shit.
I mean, neither do I. Okay, just throwing it out on the table. We've both watched, the entirety of the anime, and I've read Part 5, and I'm reading Part 6.
Yeah, I haven't, and you've seen the anime a couple of times now. I've not. I've seen everything once, and that's it. I just finished it for the
You've
first
got
time.
Stronger opinions about Part 1 than I have, though.
I despise Part 1. I hate it more than, excuse me, almost any other show I've watched. The first half...
That's... You seem to have fun the entire time.
That's not true. The first half, I was bored and angry. The second half, I was excited and angry. I was excited at the new depths it was sinking to. What's going on right now? This isn't how the anime started.
No. This starts a little bit differently. So in this, it's Dario Brando telling Dio, "Ayo, go move in with this dweeb Joestar family." This game never came out in English. Just to kind of get this game out of the way, and then we can jump back to familiarity. This game was made by a studio called Anchor Incorporated. They have had releases in the West beforehand. I solely know that because I played a terrible UFC game they made that was released on the Dreamcast.
Wait. Look, Dario, that's his same picture just traced, but with a different level of detail. Look at his beard in the main picture and in his avatar.
They just Crayolaed his beard a little bit in the top right.
They changed the shading on his forehead. His eyes are looking in a slightly different direction.
And also, you say you despise Part 1. I despise this game, but I also respect it. I have a lot of respect for how terrible this game is. Because this game threw me. This is so faithful. This game is too faithful an adaptation.
This is how the anime starts, with the car crash.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to just throw out our complete, ignorance of the manga. I've seen panels of Part 1's manga, and I dislike the art style, and I'm I know there are events, I know the anime glosses over a lot of Jonathon's, childhood, and, interactions with Erina, which I don't... it's been months
so
since
was
I
there,
recorded this.
more of that in the manga?
Yes, there was more interactions with Erina in the manga that, the anime just kind of condensed. Because you say you, were bored in the first few episodes, but I think the first, 2 episodes of Part 1 are fine. They, rush through a lot of stuff.
I didn't think they were that bad. I just thought I wasn't enjoying them. I did not like the first 2 episodes of JoJo. In general, I think everything except Part 4 started out rough. Even Part 4 didn't start on a great arc, I don't think. Like I was saying, Part 2 I definitely liked a lot more. There were moments in the first few episodes I really enjoyed, but the whole didn't grip me until about halfway through. I would say it's for both Part 1 and Part 2. The first half I found boring, the second half I found exciting. The difference is I despised everything that wasn't boring in Part 1, and I enjoyed what wasn't boring in Part 2. It's kind of weird. I would consider myself a fan of Jojo, despite the fact that the only part out of 4 that I've seen, I would just unqualified say that I like is part 4. I hate part 1. I enjoyed watching most of part 1, but I hate it. Part 2 I remember a lot more fondly than I actually enjoyed it while I was watching it. The ending is just so good. It really sucked me in and makes me sort of forgive the fact that I was bored most of the time for like the first half of it. Then part 3 I actually just kind of dislike. I was bored by far the least with part 3 compared to 1 and 2, but also got the least enjoyment out of it.
We spent roughly 80% of the time watching part 3 just taking the piss out of Jotaro.
And Polnareff.
And Polnareff. It was, alright, never mind, it wasn't 80% of the time, it was 50-50 split. Either Polnareff was doing something stupid, or just Jotaro was. Jotaro was just being too hardcore for this earth. And just being the most adorable quantity known to man.
Dio's hair is a lot, like, nicer than I remember. Okay, what the fuck?
Smash cut to the bullies. Do you remember these?
Yeah, wait, I do remember the bullies. I only remember the bullies because I watched that video where it's like all of part 1, but it speeds up every time Dio's an asshole. So it's basically like the first half of the first episode, then like incomprehensible. Wait. Oh no, it's a doll. Okay, I thought they were just really big in that shot.
There's just big perspective flip. Look at her hands in that image and tell me about perspective. She is wiping her eyes with doll hands.
Why does... God, that one dude looked like a fucking rat in that image. Oh my god!
Look at that panel!
This is our introduction to the hero. He's the hero of the show. This guy.
So that's our move list. Yeah, we play this fight. This is the first playable fight in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1, Phantom Blood, the PS2 game released in 2006.
I love that loading screen. How come the now loading's in English?
Oh, by the way, I fixed this. The red bars. This was a problem. I didn't like it, but I fixed it. That wasn't an intentional artistic choice in that first cutscene. That was a rendering glitch.
That lowers my opinion of this. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it worked.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
Is she just cheering us on?
She's just gonna be cheering in the side of the screen.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. I just want to say I love that, like, go screen where the fucking mask hovers over the back of Jonathon and he looks like a weird-ass, like, all-head character. Like, that's his character model. The mask is squaring up for a fight.
I will say, I'm gonna give this game, like, its one compliment and then we'll move on, because this is the worst fighting game I've ever played. Like, hands down, I've played some shit. I've been around the block. This is the worst fighting game I've ever played. It is incomprehensibly terrible. But it looks nice.
Yeah.
I like for like a late era PS2 game, like, they've clearly got a lot out. I think aesthetically, this is the only, like, compliments you can give this game, but as a fighting game, like, this part is meant to be terrible. Like, Jonathon is meant to be a fucking wimp in this fight. And by God, that is expressed.
So, okay, so this is a, like, you're supposed to lose fight.
Yes, I did not realize that, but look how much damage I'm doing to them. This game has a system of health that it depends on how it's used.
This is so bad.
In games, I've disliked it. You see that red health refill, so you have to pile on damage. This fight is winnable. You're not meant to win it. I'm gonna spoil because we're not gonna see it, but if you do win this fight, the cutscene has one extra line before they beat the shit out of Jonathon anyway.
Oh my god, so it's like in fucking Sonic 06, where in the Silver boss fight, where Sonic beats Silver, and then in the cutscene, it's just like Silver then immediately jukes him and beats him up anyways. But, like, in Silver's version, it just cuts out the first few seconds where he gets juked, and it's just Silver beating up Sonic. It's literally that.
And because we're also not going to see it, I keep very few unlocks in. Once you beat the game, there is a and do some other stuff. There is a Dio mode unlocked where you play through the story from Dio's perspective, but it's just the same fights. Just swap out Jonathan to Dio.
That's so bad. Wait, does that mean? Oh, okay. So, like, if ever it's a versus Dio fight, it's now a versus Jonathan fight.
I imagine so.
But Dio also beats up these guys.
The perspective of this scene is swapped so that this is how Dio wins their respect. So I have to imagine it has to be a fight you win, otherwise they're just like, man, you took that beating really well, we'll work for you. At this point, who is Erina fucking, cheering for?
Like, Jonathan's clearly enjoying himself at this point, this is like, he has they've long since lost interest in her and her doll. This has just turned into a, like, hey guys, let's fight. What is she doing? Like, is she's just, like, in the stands, like, trying to start the wave with all 0 other people.
Well, I mean, no one here has any friends.
This does look really bad. The camera keeps, like, whipping around, like, is there, like, a Z targeting or something?
There isn't there is a kind of lock-on, but no great camera controls.
Oh my god.
For 2006, the camera controls are frankly just unforgivable. Like, you've got so little control, and by the way, so to kind of get into some nitty-gritty technicals, when you start a combo, you can't turn. You are locked in. You're locked into your direction in a fighting game where, like... And also, you see they get knocked down on the first hit. There's no, like, downed hitting in this game.
God.
So, the moment someone's down, they're recovering health, and you're just like, well, that's just me out of luck then. But once you get into a combo, you dedicate. Like, if I'm doing a free hit combo, I've hit the button, like, way in advance. You have to be really picky with your button presses, because you're locked in the moment you start hitting.
This looks really bad. Wait, so do you win this fight? Like, spoilers?
No.
Oh, sad.
I don't. I'm sorry it goes on for this long for what is a loss. I think it's, like, you can clearly see at this point I've, like, worked out a strategy that could possibly win me this, but...
Yeah, they've been losing health faster than you for a while now.
Yeah, but... But
then that happens, yeah.
Yeah, eventually I just give up enough hits that it's just... I mean, aren't you happier that Jonathan loses?
Yeah, I am. But, like, not that it took this long.
He should have died sooner.
Yeah, he really should have.
It's also just a fact.
Like,
I'm gonna say...
Erina's arms are getting tired at this point. She's losing interest in the fight.
I mean, everyone's legs are getting tired.
Wouldn't it be great if this fight goes on long enough, she just gets bored and leaves?
Oh, I would appreciate that. At some point, her model is just slowly moving backwards throughout the whole fight.
I really want to see speedruns of this game.
I hope none exist, for this game's sake and for the speedrunners. I'm gonna give this game another compliment, even though it's a backhanded one. This game is like the closest I've ever played that's like to a shonen anime. Because every fight I had to learn a new technique to break the AI and win. I just had to learn a new way to fuck with a game to progress because the fighting system is so terrible. And I think I cut out near enough all my losses.
Is that the Joestar mansion?
Yes, it is rendered in beautiful... I don't know.
There's not even ground!
Yeah,
like,
it's just being suspended over nothingness.
Wait. So why were they talking about the mansion if they didn't even know who he was?
Maybe he was just referring, God, we're so far removed. They're just like, I will go back to my mansion and talk to Papa about this. And they're like, oh, he's Joestar, beat the shit out of him more. He has it coming.
I will give credit to part one. That was one of the moments I enjoyed in, like, the first episode, where they're like, after fighting him, wait, this guy's Jonathon Joestar. And then I expected, like, oh no, we shouldn't mess with this guy, and they run away, like, please don't have us executed or whatever. I thought it was going in that direction, but then they're like, no, okay, hey you bourgeois asshole, and just start beating him up way harder. And I respected that about, part 1.
The bullies are the real heroes of part 1.
They are.
They really should have doubled down and, like, fixed Jonathon's character, like, a lot sooner. Just get any of that unfounded pride just out of his system. Jonathon, though, you gotta admit, for how terrible he is, he's absolutely fascinating.
Oh no, he is.
A fucking awful character. He's, like, almost entertaining and, like... Well, you're gonna get into it because you put forward some really interesting observations about Jonathon's character that I had never considered.
Oh yeah. No, Jonathon, I love how much I hate Jonathon. Oh, there's ground now. There are like trees. Those were in the shop before.
Now we're actually here. You can see them trying to translate the manga panels into this like 3D art style, and it's not. It's like I commended the graphics earlier, but no, it can't quite pull this
Jonathan's
off.
head is so... I mean, okay, like, for all the... I'm clearly gonna be insulting the models constantly throughout this game, because there have already been some fucking gems. But in all fairness, I really love Araki's modern art style from, like, Part 8 and whatnot. His art was ugly as sin in Part 1. Like, as ugly as these are, these honestly still look better than how Jonathon was drawn in Part 1 half the time.
Look at that fucking freak dog.
Oh my god, does Dio have a, like, versus Danny fight in his...
That would be so good. Oh, that would be so powerful as a villain setup. Imagine if this was your first exposure to Part 1. Oh, there's the fight. Well, that's clearly bullshit.
It didn't even, like, communicate well that, like, what just happened. Like, in the anime and manga, like, it's clear that he just, like, kicked this poor dog. That was just, like, I don't know what happened there.
He could have just, like, shin-checked him or just ran around his leg. Honestly, just the most fascinating part about episode 1 is, like, besides its predictability in some parts, it's just, like, how hard they go on Dio is just the biggest shit. You kind of have to just be impressed with, like, wow, there's no angle by which this guy could be sympathetic.
Yeah.
Like, beyond just, like, the closest angle you look at is he had a shit dad.
Like, okay, and the thing is, like, Dio, they go hard on making this guy unsympathetic. He kills a dog. If there's, like, any way to get me to hate a character, I'm a huge sucker for that. Yeah, like, kill a dog and I'll hate it. Oh, that's a great translation of that panel. Oh, I love that blocky arm and fist. That's amazing. Anyway.
My arm is made of clay.
But so, they went hard on making Dio unsympathetic and, like, making you hate him. And... like, again, killing a dog, there's, like, nothing you can do to make a villain worse than that for me. I was still on his side. I hated Jonathon so fucking much by the end of the first episode. Like, I was still... You know what? It was justified. Jonathon really needed to be taken down a couple pegs.
But did Danny have to die for this?
No, he didn't. But, like, I think in the end, like, in the afterlife, Danny would be like, well, at least my being brutally killed, like, made Jonathon, like, slightly less of a piece of shit as a human being.
It didn't, though. It just made him sadder. It just made him angrier.
Yeah, but, like, it made him slightly less naive. Well, no, it didn't make him less naive and stupid, but, you know.
No.
You can see how someone might think it would, like watching Part 1. Oh, this is where he gets less naive. This is where he grows as a person. They're wrong, but, like, it gives that impression that that's where the series is going.
I'm just thinking about it, and, like, this game is slow as fuck. Like,
we're 20 minutes in. Holy shit.
We've had one fight. Granted, part of that was my fault, but it was 7 minutes for the first fight. This game goes hard on retelling manga panels. Like, to a ludicrous degree. Another reason I respect this game is just, there are like 20 different Jonathon Joestars in this game. Many of them have their own fighting style.
Oh, so you have to like completely relearn your moveset, like constantly throughout the story? Oh, that's great.
And if you remember this fight scene in the manga, this is another fight that Jonathon loses.
This is where Dio steps in.
This is where Dio wrecks his shit. This is another fight you can win. Spoilers, I don't. I'm like desperate. Like, here's another thing, okay? That button before that dodge rolled, that's not doing the dodge anymore for me. They changed the dodge button. Like, they changed basic controls. I think I land one... Oh, no, I land one. I don't even count that as a punch. That's like a move to buy space. It's not even a hit.
Yeah, you're getting kind of wrecked. I mean, I'm glad.
Dio just rocked my shit in.
That's about as well as that went for Jonathon in the manga. I gotta give you credit for authenticity there.
I should have aimed for closer Jojo-lity. Oh my god. Okay, Eyes of Heaven. I've not beaten Eyes of Heaven yet because I haven't finished the manga, but I respect that game ranks your fights based on like how well you performed and how much you acted like a Jojo in the fights.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is the rating system accurate, in your opinion?
I mean, it's mainly just spamming certain moves. So, you know... It's kind of the very opposite of a Jojo fight, where it's like one decisive move.
And, like, characters refuse to use, like, techniques they have that would win fights much more quickly.
Yeah, okay, if there's any big flaw in Jojo, it's just the convenient forgetting that Hermit Purple exists. For hours at a time.
But the thing is, they can't even do that with, like, Jonathon, because this is getting into slightly spoilers territory. We'll see more of this as the game goes along. But when Jonathon starts winning fights, like, it's not in a style that anyone else can really replicate, because he doesn't win through successfully, like, doing something smart, you know, or exploiting a weakness. He just, like, announces that something will happen now, or works for him, and, like, they're like, what? No, that's fucking stupid. That doesn't work. And then it just works through sheer density of, like, willpower and stupidity and refusal to accept defeat. Oh, fuck up. Like, Jonathon just sort of, like, manifests solutions out of pure, like, naivete. And you can't really recreate that in a game. You can't, like, just do something that should never work, and then it somehow works.
I don't know, I felt I had that experience playing this game, I'm gonna tell you.
Hey, yeah, maybe you impressed me.
Like, we haven't even gotten to the fact, like, when this game introduces Hamon, you're gonna see some bullshit.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Oh god. I'm not looking forward to that, actually.